Today I'm going to talk a little bit about motivation. Most people act like you can't do anything unless you're motivated, and they expect that to carry on throughout their entire life. Always looking for more ways to be motivated. Motivational videos, speeches, whatever, to keep them going. And that's all fine. Motivation is very important as far as the initial momentum of getting moving to start with. But later on, it's not really that important. One of the ways to actually get more motivation is to think about where you actually are and where you want to be. Because if you're actually fairly close to that, you're not going to have much motivation to continue. You don't have a lot of pain. The farther away you are from where you want to be, the more pain is involved and the more you'll be motivated to do something about it. One example I heard was, if you're making, say, $500 a week, and your actual goal is only to make $750 a week, you're not going to be very likely to take the time to look for another job or go on interviews or do whatever's necessary to get the other job, because really your lifestyle's not going to change that much. Whereas if you want to live the lifestyle of somebody that's making $10,000 a week, and you think about how that is, how that would be, you are so far away from that. If you really think about it and want it bad enough, then the pain of being that far away becomes strong enough that you start to do things about it and think about what to do about it. A lot of times, especially in our current society, for example, if you want to lose weight, get in better shape, whatever, you're considered toxic if you even think about the shape someone's in now being a bad thing. In some ways, that's true. I mean, you don't want to actually feel bad or make people constantly feel depressed about the state they're in, but if you completely accept it as normal and there's no problem with it, like a lot of people do, going overboard in the other direction, then you're not motivated to do anything about it. Whereas if you get really tired of something and get really disgusted with yourself, then you get up and change. I used to smoke. The only thing that actually gave me the drive to quit was when I was just completely disgusted with myself and tired of having that thing be in control of my life. Complete control. If I just accepted it as normal, be like everybody else that just says, well, that's too hard. I can't do it. Even after I had quit, that's the number one thing everybody said to me. Well, I wish I could do it. It's just too hard. I tried. It didn't work. But you can do it if you want to, bad enough. They just didn't really want to bad enough. I had more than one person say, well, my doctor told me not to try and quit because it's just too much stress. It's not worth it. But the reality was, if you really got into it and really did it, yeah, it was super stressful for a week. The physical addiction symptoms are gone in a few days. It's beyond that, the cravings are mostly habitual habits. It's not that you necessarily had to have one after every meal. It's just that's what you did. And it was a thing that you missed if you didn't do it. Not to say it was easy and that none of those things are real. They are, and it's very hard, but it gets dramatically easier after the first couple of weeks. And then slowly gets easier and easier after that. The longer you're with it, the easier it gets. Same thing goes with a fitness transformation. It's going to be really hard at first, and hopefully you have motivation stuff down to where it's going to be really hard at first, and hopefully motivation is there to make you want to do the hard thing in the beginning. But the important thing is not to just do it, but while the motivation is there and while you're starting and really getting into it, to put habits in place so that when the motivation isn't there, exercise is not something you have to get motivated to do. It's just something that you do. It's now a habit that you perform, and it becomes part of your personality. That's the main thing I'm working on, as far as not right now getting back into it, not pushing so hard that I get burned out and want to quit. Or mostly it's not going to be that, it's going to be getting injured or push things too hard and have to take a few days off and then not get back into it. One of the things I have been doing this year is Duolingo, which is excellent about keeping you going on a streak. It's constantly reminding you to keep getting back to it every single day. And the way they do it works. Right now, I'm on a streak that is 141 days. Lately, doing this other stuff, I'm not spending as much time on it, but I'm doing at least one lesson a day, sometimes a couple. Whereas several months ago, I might do, 15, 20 minutes. A lot of times now it's just the one lesson, but that's enough to keep the streak going, and it's still enough to make progress. Same with the meditation app every night. I'm not necessarily doing very long time every time I do it, but right now the streak on that is 79 days. And that's a habit that can have dramatic effects on your mental health and everything else that you do. From what I've seen, 5 minutes a day is good, and that's about my lower limit as far as maintaining a streak. 10 minutes is better. 15 is really kind of the sweet spot. You don't have to do an hour or even half an hour. 10 to 15 minutes every day is enough to get 90% of the benefits of it. Same with exercise. A lot of people, when you start talking to them, I don't have hours to spend in the gym. I can't go for an hour a day. Who said you had to? I'm in a little bit different of a situation, as that I've been doing it for so long, at least off and on, that I'm still considered a trained person. If you're new, you can't recruit as many muscle fibers, and you can't really do as much damage or stimulation as someone that's practiced at it. The more you do it, the more you can recruit more muscle fibers and do more good with actually less work. But still, it doesn't take that long. And in fact, for most people that are not on performance-enhancing drugs or not wanting to be a professional, there's no benefit to doing stuff really that long. I will do supersets, which is doing one exercise and then doing another one right after, then taking a rest. This way, the muscles worked in the first exercise get a break while you're working the second group. It works like 90% as well as doing straight sets, where you just do one exercise, take a rest, repeat another set, take a rest, repeat another set, and then go to the next exercise. But you get done in half the time. And I don't go to the gym to sit on the bench and scroll on my phone. You can do that anywhere. When you go to the gym, it's time to go to the gym and do the work, and then go home. I still enjoy it, so in some ways it's still not that bad, but it's not like you're going to work and want to get done and get home. But still, why spend more time there than you have to? Point being, the best thing to do, instead of always looking for motivation, is to look for ways that you can set up your life for success. Set certain habits that you're going to do from now on, but especially for now in the short term until you reach your goals. Some of the ones that I'm trying to incorporate right now is I'm still obviously doing the Duolingo, do meditation at night. Every night, most supplements you take at night, you're supposed to take an hour before bed. That's the time I also stop and do a 10-minute cleanup. Mainly the kitchen, a little bit in the bathroom. 10 minutes will do a lot. 10 minutes will do a lot as far as keeping your house clean. And that's another thing that people overlook, but If your space is clean and not overly cluttered, it's a weight off your mind. And keeps you more relaxed and more calm. And your house becomes more of a sanctuary, which is what you want from the rest of the world. As far as exercise goals, still kind of working that out, but mainly I want to get minimum 10 minutes of focused activity every day. Probably it's more like 15. As far as a minimum. But 15 to 20 minutes, you can do a lot. And that's all you need. And all those days are not. This is today. I'm out here walking around a track. It's a rugby field at my local college that has this paved track around it. It's anything fancy, but you're not going to get run over by a car. And you can just walk at your pace and do whatever you want. Half of it is covered by trees in the shade here, like you see. And I'm actually kind of going back and forth, staying in the shaded areas instead of the area that's right out in the sun. Because even though it's been cooler, the feels like is like 95 today. And I'm outside enough. Plus, as you know, I'd get, like yesterday, I got 25,000 steps at work. So I don't have to do a lot. I just don't want today's step count to be super low. Even though I get an average of 10,000 steps a day, on the days that I don't work, a lot of times that has been 3,000. Because I've been so beat up from work that I don't get out and do stuff like this, even though I really enjoy it. But the work schedule is finally slowing down a little bit. So after a couple of weeks of that, I feel a little better and more myself and can come out here and do some. And right now, just this walk has already been 30 minutes and 3,000 steps. So I'm probably going to have 7,000 today, even if I do nothing else. Here's the other side. But anyway, these are the habits I'm focusing on right now. I'll add in more later, but I want to get the exercise habit down, settled, before I add anything else. So I'm just going to focus on working on it for the next week or two before I add anything else. And that's pretty much what it's going to be. Minimum 10 minutes focused doing something. Even if it's just coming out like this for 10 minutes. I can leave my house and walk down to a spring at the end of the road and come back, and that's a mile. I used to do that a lot in the mornings when I was just working for myself and didn't have a set time that I had to be anywhere. I would do that most mornings. But now that I have a schedule that's odd, last night I closed, so I had to work late at 5 to 9, And then there's the day next week that I have to be there at 6 in the morning. So I have to get up uncomfortably early to do that, because I can't just get up and run to work in 10 minutes like some people do. I need to get up and ease into the day. So that means usually I get up 2 hours before I have to be there, so I have plenty of time to do things that I want to do, and then go in with no pressure. I don't quite do that on days I have to be there that early, but still. Anyway, that's the main thing. A little bit of rambling, but don't just count on motivation to get you what you want. While you're motivated, set goals, figure out habits that will get you to those goals. Decide what the minimum standard is for that habit. That's going to be something easy that you know you can do every day, no matter what. And do that. Oftentimes, once you've done your minimum, you're still going to feel like doing more. Kind of like they say, you don't have to actually exercise today. Just go to the gym and do your warm-up, and then you can come home if you don't feel like it. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to come home. You're going to continue and do what you had planned on doing. But at least the pressure is not there, and it doesn't feel like an insurmountable task. But set up your habits. Let me know in the comments what habits that you're doing that I had not, or what I might not have thought of, or if any of these are things that you're going to start doing. And we'll get going on this together. And I'm almost back to the truck. So I think that's going to be it for this one.